Hey everyone, Sam here, also known as Mr. Stainless, and if you played State of Decay 1, no doubt during your playthrough you'll have encountered some pretty nasty zombies. Not only do you have to contend with the run-of-the-mill undead who are waiting around every corner, but there were also more advanced zombies known as freaks in the game. Now these zombies were kind of like the specialty zombies we see in Left 4 Dead, or the special class of rats we see in Vermintide. Well, it looks like these freaks are back for State of Decay 2, and in today's video we're going to take a look at each of them so that you can prepare yourself for what's to come. Now the first freak that we'll talk about is the Screamer, who has the ability to summon large groups of zombies to your location by screaming, of course. Now you won't usually see the Screamer engaging in melee combat due to its lack of arms, but it can get in a pretty nasty headbutt or two. Now if you encounter a Screamer, especially in a built-up urban area, you're going to want to prioritize it as a target, otherwise you could very easily find yourself overwhelmed. And as long as you do try to prioritize taking these guys out, you won't usually find them to be too much of a threat. Now for me, I'd recommend trying to take them down from range with a well-placed shot from your firearm, by the way, because I know while playing through State of Decay 1, I sometimes found that these Screamers would try and avoid you once they called in a swarm of zombies, making it harder to get to them. Now you should know as well that if you're close to a Screamer when it screams, your character will be stunned, so keep an eye out for that. Next we have the Bloater, which is another freak zombie we know will be in State of Decay 2. Now much like the Screamer, the Bloater can be dealt with quite easily if it doesn't catch you by surprise, but unlike any other freak zombie, the Bloater can still pose a threat after death, and here's why. Bloater zombies have one attack. They close in on a survivor, and when they're in range, they burst and emit a cloud of toxic gas. Equally, if you shoot one from range or if you hit one with a car, they'll also explode into a cloud of toxic gas which will remain there for about 6 seconds or so. Now in State of Decay 1, any survivor who entered this gas would take health and stamina damage, so I'd say we can expect the exact same thing in the second installment. You should know as well, as we saw in the IGN stream of State of Decay 2, if you hit a Bloater with a car, the toxic gas will fill the inside of the car, basically forcing you to exit the vehicle until it clears. Unless you want to take that damage, of course. Now the Bloaters are quite slow, and aside from the toxic gas, they aren't too dangerous. Now one thing I would say is do be aware of Bloaters when you're indoors. If you aren't careful, their toxic gas could cut off your only exit point. Next, we start to get into what I see as being the more dangerous kinds of freaks you can encounter in-game, the first one being the Juggernaut. Now we actually see the Juggernaut feature prominently in the State of Decay trailer where it charges at a survivor and rips him in two, which is pretty horrific really. Now when in-game, you'll recognise the Juggernaut straight away. There are some larger set zombies in the world, but the Juggernauts are massive compared to any of them. They possess a large amount of health and deal an incredible amount of damage, and when a Juggernaut sees you, it'll likely stomp the ground and roar, drawing in any nearby zombies. Now if you're at a distance from the Juggernaut, it'll then charge at you quite quickly. Now, I don't think you can just kill a Juggernaut with your car either, it'll destroy your car very easily. Instead, if you're looking for a tactic of defeating a Juggernaut, try and get yourself into a building or something with a conventional doorway. In the first game, the Juggernaut couldn't fit through these, and you could take a few pop shots on it, and when the Juggernaut takes enough damage, it'll then fall to its knees to regain its strength. At this point, you're going to want to charge in and finish it off with a special melee attack, a kind of ground execution. Basically though, if you can avoid combat with a Juggernaut, do. They're difficult to bring down and can very easily wipe out a small group of survivors. Next, we have the Ferrule, which are seen as the hunter or stalker type zombies in the game. They're fast, sneaky, and can deal a very substantial amount of damage. And when it spots you, the Ferrule will charge on all fours and pounce, knocking you over and greatly reducing your ability to counterattack. Now if you don't manage to kick the Ferrule off you, it'll just keep biting into your helpless body until it literally chews you in half. Most times you'll meet a Ferrule will be completely by accident. You won't see it, but you'll hear a bone-chilling scream and all of a sudden you'll be pinned to the ground. Now if you are lucky to spot one in the direction you're headed though, take out your rifle, kill it with a headshot. If you're drawn into combat, the best way to defeat it, as with most zombies, is to knock it down and execute it. So those are the main special zombies or freaks in State of Decay 2 that we know are going to be in the game, and from what we know there aren't any new freaks being added. However, one thing I think we may find is that the Blood Plague, a new force for us to contend with in the game, will have found a way to infect these freaks to make them even stronger. In some of the gameplay trailers that we've seen so far, you can see a Ferrule that has red eyes, much like the other zombies who have contracted or been infected with the blood plague. I wonder if Undead Labs then have introduced this dynamic into the game for that extra challenge. But what do you think, folks? Do you think the blood plague will affect freak zombies? Equally, if you played the first game, which one of these freaks were you most afraid of encountering? Let me know down in the comments below. In the meantime, if you want to be kept up to date with all of your State of Decay 2 news, hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell to be kept notified. But until next time, have a great week, and I will of course speak to you all soon.